Hearing.
Oh,
All right. We're starting, by the way. This is Shower Thoughts with an Asexual. This is episode 9. We are interviewing today my friend Brendon Davis. I've known him for how many years now? Like 6 or 7?
Axel, that was 24, 13, 14.
No,
Where was that?
I
15.
graduated. I graduated right after. It was 2015. That was like right after high school. So holy fuck, I've known you for 6 years now. But we recently reconnected when I went to go see him at Cliff Bell's, where he plays. Brandon, introduce yourself. Brendan, law.
Hi. Yeah, it's all good. I'm
Sorry, it's early.
Brendon. Uh, yep. Grateful to be here. Congrats on this and everything that's happening in your life, Jacoby. So,
Well, I mean, introduce yourself. Like, where do you play outside of Cliff Bell's, obviously?
okay. I normally sub at like different churches. So like Kensington and Troy. I've played at Second Ebenezer, um, Greater Emmanuel, just to name a few. I'm back at Michigan, University of Michigan now,
Mhm.
and so we have some performances and concerts coming up there. I've done Hill Auditorium there. Uh, I've just recently I was in Colorado not too long ago this
Ooh.
past summer doing the Aspen Music Festival, Jazz Aspen. Really great experience at the Limelight Hotel. I miss it more and more each day. That hot tub was amazing. So, but yeah, just wherever whoever calls me, and of course like the AXO events we've done the
hmm
past couple of years.
Do
So
you still do AXO events out of curiosity?
yes, so I'm actually a the one of the judges for the local competitions.
Oh, wow. Look
I
at
know it's
you.
so weird, so weird. I was just telling Mr. Toya, I was like, I feel so weird, but all right, if you think I can do it, okay.
Yeah, just to give our viewers a little bit of a background on what AXO is, it's basically a branch of the NAACP where we do competitions. I think it's statewide and then at the national level in different fields. I participated in the speech portion, and Brendan obviously, what was it, composition? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, that year was composition and instrumental contemporary
Yeah,
music
that
instrumental
was
contemporary.
his particular, I can't remember the word, his particular discipline when it came to that. And I think you actually won gold, or was it bronze?
It was bronze
It was
in the
bronze. Yeah,
composition.
Caleb and Akeem won gold. They were photography, and then what was Caleb again?
Classical.
Classical, yeah. Because I
Mhm.
remember, yeah. It's been a while since I talked to Caleb and Akeem actually. But sorry. Basically it's just like a nationwide competition. So just moving forward a little bit, let's start with the beginning of your musical career. Just first question, when did you start playing music?
I want to say when I was about like 6, but at the time I didn't take it seriously, So like, but I learned how to read music at that age, and I just noticed when I was in elementary school, whenever we had music class, I was able to, you know, pretty much catch on quickly when we had to read. So actually, no, not 6. That's a lie. Wait, first grade? Yeah, first grade. First grade. So I was about 6 years old. Yes, that's right. Okay. But then I stopped and I picked it back up again in fifth grade. Um, just because like I was able to read and stuff, and I started taking it a little bit more serious.
Mm-hmm.
So about 10 years old, and was just going on YouTube as well when I picked it back up. YouTube, YouTube University was like my college. That's how I was learning, looking at piano
Typically is
tutorials.
for everyone our age, you know.
Yeah, that's what it is nowadays. You can learn so much.
All
So,
right. So who got you into music?
ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if there was anyone particular that got me into it. I think like I just remember just being surrounded by it.
Mm-hmm.
My mom would play music around the house. When I
Is
was
she a
growing up,
piano
we had
player as well?
she had a who?
Is she a piano player as well?
She used to play a little bit, but she stopped. Um, but she used to play like a lot of CDs,
Mm-hmm.
those back in the day, and cassettes. I don't know if you know about cassettes. You probably know
Jesus.
about cassettes.
Ancient, like got us feeling old. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, they were phasing out, but we were listening to those. I remember she used to turn on, she used to put on cassettes, and so that's what I was around listening to like Michael Jackson,
Oh my
any
God.
gospel
Yeah.
records, just anything. So
Yeah, you said that you played in a lot of church. Did church get you into it? Because I remember when I was a kid, like my mom was a minister at our local church for I think like 3 or 4 years while we were in Detroit. And I was in the choir around that time. I think I was like maybe 7 or 8. And like I enjoyed singing, but like you, I didn't take it seriously. And I just never picked it back up. I feel like if I picked it back up, I would be in a very different part of my life. But like
mhm.
I don't know. Like I feel like the church is a big inspiration for you since you say you play at a lot of church events or for a
Yeah,
lot of churches, excuse me.
yeah,
So you are
definitely.
religious?
Um,
So you are religious?
uh, yeah. I mean, I would say I'm a Christian,
Hmm.
but just like within my own life and
Got you.
just like things that I've certain things in the Bible, like I've really tried to go back and do some research about like what they mean, like who wrote it, how it was changed, with like, because I mean, because the original Bible I think was like written in like Hebrew or something, and so like
One of those
there's
older
there've been
languages,
some,
yeah.
huh?
One of those older languages, yeah.
Yeah, and so like and so I've been like trying to go back and like research like, you know, what the original text says because like there were some mistranslations when it, was translated over to English, like I think in like the early, I'm not sure what year it was, but and so
The
like
early times.
huh?
The early times.
The early times, there is a specific year, but I can't, it escapes me at the moment.
Yeah. Oh,
But yeah.
we don't have to get into a whole religious topic. That's not the topic of this particular podcast. That can be a later episode if you are feeling inclined to come back on. But
Oh,
I did want
sure.
to know what was your first instrument, and do you play more than one?
Um, I think my first instrument was the piano, but I did switch to drums at a point, and I was
Okay.
playing drums. Oh, actually, so I guess I was still doing music then. So I started piano
Mhm.
in first grade, but then I stopped just because like I was not there, um, like to be focused, and I picked up drums, and so I was playing drums like from second through fifth. I totally forgot about that. So I was also playing drums too. I actually just got another drum set that's over there somewhere, so I'm gonna try to get back on that wagon. It's been some years, but
Helps with percussion. I know that much. Do you play any other instruments?
vibraphone. I'm sorry, not vibraphone. Bells, which is like a smaller vibraphone.
Mhm.
I can do timpani, uh, any like, because I was in percussion in like middle school,
Got
so
you. Got
I
you.
remember all that stuff.
Okay, and I'm assuming I'm gonna ask this, but like I'm assuming the answer is piano. But what is your favorite instrument?
I don't know. I have to say the saxophone.
Really?
No, I'm just saying. It's piano.
It is piano.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, the
it's,
way
it's
you
one
were
of my favorites.
playing last night, the way you were playing last night, you were really starting to get into it. I did want to talk about that before we moved on to our next topic.
Really? Okay.
Um, hmm?
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. So I went last night. What's today? Like the date? Today's the 25th. So the 24th, I went last night to see Brendon play. I don't you'd have to explain like what was going on because like I literally came like in the last hour and I just kind of just sat there and enjoyed. Can you explain exactly what was going on? Because I know
Yeah.
the guy was selling CDs towards the end.
Yeah. Mike Reed, Uncle Mike is what we call him. He's a
Mhm.
drummer. So it was his. Actually, this was night two of his residency of his album release concerts that he's doing. So he just released an album. I want to say either earlier this year or it might have been last year.
Mhm.
He's been having these album release concerts to promote the album, to market it and to sell it, and we perform compositions from it. So pretty much the whole first set, we did all of his music from the album. We did the title track, "Remove All Fear." The second set, I think we did some originals, but I think when you got there, we probably was doing like the jam session because a lot of his friends came out from
Mhm.
Michigan State because that's where he's at. A lot of them came out and they wanted to sit in and jam, So a lot of times, kind of culturally, like in like the jazz scene, like if it's a lot of musicians there, a lot of times the band leader will open it up and bring them up to play some songs.
Yeah, because I saw a lot of them were just kind of riffing, and I'm like, oh my god. But
Yeah.
like that was my first time in like I'm gonna call it a jazz bar just because like jazz was being played there, but it's probably just a normal bar that just plays different types of music. But I'm gonna call it a jazz bar.
Okay.
Um, that was my first time in a jazz bar for I think maybe 3 or 4 years. I don't really go out like that, but
Okay.
like I definitely enjoyed the ambiance. I personally thought it was a little too loud just because like I'm gonna come with earplugs next time so I can like not get like that deafened. I'll put it
Yeah.
that way because it was loud. It was definitely loud, but I definitely enjoyed it. And watching you play, like I'm not gonna lie, I wanted you to get more solos because
Yeah.
I feel like you got well from what I saw. So you might have gotten them earlier in the night, but from what I saw, you didn't get that many solos. I'm like, bro, he's the whole keys. Come on, give him more. Give him more time to shine.
Yeah, I feel it. When it's a lot of horn players,
They get
they
all
take a
the
lot of choruses. So I just like y'all got it. You know.
But all right, so I'm gonna segue that since you did mention jazz, into the next segment. We're gonna talk about genres of music. So, like, what genres of music are you trained in? Because I know you are going for your master's degree, correct? What is it in?
Improvisation.
Improvisation. Can you like elaborate more on that? Because like my majors were philosophy and political science, so
Sure. I actually wanted to major in philosophy because, like,
it's not worth it.
I mean,
Just
you deal
telling
with
you
like
right
so
now,
many.
it's not worth it.
I don't know, man. You deal with so many concepts, which are kind of,
Abstract.
yeah, and I like to think about stuff like that because I'm a ruminator, so I don't know.
Well, you might enjoy it. You might enjoy it, but I studied metaphysical philosophy, and I'm telling you,
Oh, right.
it was it was worth it just because of the type of person and the type of field that I want to go into. But I would not suggest it lightly. So
Okay.
you might have chose the right path going down with
Ah,
the
no.
music, like if you want to in your 40s when you got like money and albums and shit, just go back to college to get a philosophy degree. I suggest it, sure, but hmm, you
Uh,
know but
that's
sorry, go back to improvisation and like just the music, like describe that master's degree process, I guess.
Sure. I mean, I'm still getting used to it.
Hmm.
It's a big change from my undergrad. My undergrad was a little bit more, I don't want to say like confined or constrained, but um, it's just different.
Hmm.
It's a little bit more open. We're doing some things that I haven't done before in terms of like so, music. There's like the common, time signature 4/4. Have 4 beats per measure, quarter note gets
Hmm.
beat. So we're doing things that's like we're in 7, we're in 9, we're in 13, we're in 11, we're in all of these different meters. So I'm definitely trying to get used to that because I don't play in that many like odd meters. That term is kind of weird because I don't know how that makes something odd, but it's kind of a westernized thing. But yeah, so I'm getting used to that. I don't have as many classes, that I also used to have.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
master's program.
huh?
It's a master's program. They tend to be less focused on general things.
I see that. Yeah, it's interesting. So I've been trying to basically just I guess like craft like exactly what I want to do, like my focus in terms of like even especially like in my practice session because I have way much more time now to practice, and so like I'm really just like thinking now, okay, like what am I weak at? What are my strengths? Like what do I want to do to get to the next level? That's what
Gotcha.
it's about. So I get
Gotcha.
to the next level.
Okay, thank you for that little insight. But now let's move on to genres of music. What genres of music are you trained in?
Am I trained in?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm trained in any genre really. I've just kind of just been just
Okay.
fucking it.
What do you play then? How
Okay,
about that? What have you played
I
throughout your
like that.
career?
So jazz, that's an umbrella term though. So like
Obviously.
yeah, so smooth jazz, uh, straight ahead jazz, jazz fusion. I love jazz fusion. Um, classical music,
Hmm.
Um, like I've done like classical repertoire, R&B, any type of like R&B, neo soul. Grew up on neo soul, gospel. Grew up in the church. I still sub at different churches every now and then.
Hmm.
Um, I think that's mainly it.
You know,
I've done some pop. Well, that's a line. No, I do pop. Um, I've done some hip hop. I've
oh,
done a little bit of rock and roll, like maybe just like a couple. It's just like maybe one tune somebody will put on the set, you know. But yeah.
you're gonna have to describe the difference since you specified that jazz is an umbrella term, and the ones that you've done is neo jazz. What's neo jazz?
Neo soul,
Neo soul. My bad. My bad.
neo soul, yeah. It's like for me, neo soul. Like I think of like artists like Jill Scott, D'Angelo,
Hmm.
that kind of vibe, like that '90s type of feel. You
Okay.
got
Okay.
the bass, the that bass drum, the low bass, the electric piano type of vibe.
So
It's
the
real
baby
smooth.
making music is what you're
Baby making
talking
music,
about. Okay,
exactly.
good. That's all you
Yeah,
had to say. It's like I would
yeah.
have, I would have got it right there.
Okay.
What about the other? You said straight ahead jazz, and what was the other one?
I think it was smooth and jazz fusion. That one.
Hmm. Like just describe. I guess just describe them. I guess.
Yeah. So straight ahead. So actually, you heard straight ahead last night. That was the straight ahead um, kind of coin.
Sorry about
Vibe.
my dog, by the way. He
How's your
wants
dog?
to go outside. Can you hear it or no?
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah.
Okay. Annoying. Whatever.
It's all good.
Sorry. Go ahead with your explanation.
Yeah, straight ahead. So you heard that last night. So like for with that swing, like
Hmm.
the that ride pattern, ting ting to ting 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 to ting. That's like central. Like rhythm is like central to that to straight ahead. Like the swing is like the utmost importance thing with straight ahead, and you heard that last night.
Okay.
Um,
The other ones you gotta
Smooth
describe
jazz.
all of them.
Yeah, smooth jazz is pretty much like what you hear on the radio, dun, 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 or whatever it is. Like it's just very um you don't hear too much swing. It's a little more, I would say it's been influenced by some R&B and gospel elements, but you got more of a backbeat from
Hmm.
the bass drum and from the drums and from the bass. Um Jazz fusion has changed, I think, because like when I think of jazz fusion, I think of people like people in the '70s, like Chick Corea. I don't know if you know who Chick Corea is. He
Have
yeah, man,
no
look him.
idea. I am not an artist. I
Oh, okay.
barely know music like that. But like continue. I'll look them up.
Yeah, he actually just passed this past February.
Oh, it's
Had
unfortunate.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to actually talk with him last year during the pandemic. He started this academy, and I got to take a lesson with him, and we got to talk. But yeah, he's one of the jazz legends. I mean, he's like changed. He changed definitely how jazz musicians play the piano, as well as, I mean, I would say, I would argue he's probably one of the greatest composers of the 21st like century, for sure. Because I mean, he's written so much. I mean, orchestral works, piano scores, jazz.
Big.
He was one of like in part of like the jazz fusion era of like the '70s,
Hmm.
like '80s. Like he's a part of that. So I mostly like do most of that music, but I know like it's changed. Like jazz fusion has changed, and um, they even have like jazz hip hop now, or like
Jazz hip
jazz. Yeah, jazz, or what is it? Or trap jazz. It's like called trap jazz or something now, where they have like trap beats on top of it. Like you got people like Kiefer, who like,
Okay.
inspired. So yeah, so it's a lot. It's changed.
I'm gonna definitely have to dip my toe into the world of jazz.
Yeah.
What is your favorite genre?
Ooh, that's tough. Whichever one is paying me the most.
that is definitely the best way to go about it. What's your least favorite genre? How about that? I feel like that'd be easier.
Whichever one isn't paying me the most.
Wow.
I'm just
Kind of a
kidding.
kind of a basic answer. I expected it though. Okay. Since you were talking, what was his name one more time? The legend
Chick Corea.
Chick Corea. Since you were just talking about artists, what like I think I already asked this, but I'm gonna ask it again. Which artist inspired you growing up?
Growing up, Definitely Michael Jackson.
Hmm.
Michael Jackson for sure. I would
You
listen to
know,
his
with the
stuff
cassette
over.
tapes.
The cassettes, the CDs, man. Oh my gosh, I listened to his stuff over and over again. Him, Byron Cage. She's a gospel artist.
Hmm.
His first album. I'm trying to think. Like growing up, Jill Scott. Remember, my dad used to play Jill Scott so much. Indy Ari. You know,
Yeah, I know
Miles
those
Davis.
two.
Huh?
I definitely know those two.
Oh, Jill Scott and Indy Ari.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. I love them.
Stevie Wonder. You know, everybody knows Stevie. If you, I mean,
Hmm.
from Detroit at least. You know,
Well, I feel like he's worldwide, so
not
everyone should know Stevie Wonder.
people don't, man.
Who
Like
doesn't know Stevie Wonder?
man, I did a camp at Interlochen up north doing in the program,
Hmm.
and these cats had not heard of Stevie, or they didn't know Stevie. They didn't know this was a while ago, but they didn't know that song, Never Can Say Goodbye, Michael Jackson,
Hmm.
or the Jacksons. They didn't know that song. They didn't know anything about Michael Jackson or the Jacksons. It was
Oh my
just like
God.
yeah, it was just like straight, like I guess like straight ahead or whatever. But yeah, they had, it was like no knowledge, and I'm like,
Their
you're
life
missing
must
a
have been
whole,
so dull. Jesus.
yeah, you're missing like a whole thing. Like
Yeah, because I'm just thinking like Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, ooh, Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm just like labeling off artists that I know that like kind of changed the game a little bit. And that was what, the 60s through the 80s, all of
60,
them. Well, say, or 70s
yeah,
through the
60.
80s, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
That little 2 decade period where music was really like changing to what, not even what it is today, because it's changing now even more, but like what it was in the 2000s. Like the 90s and the 2000s was just like a heyday, in my opinion, of the 70s and the 80s. And the fact that no one heard of Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson is just kind of hits the ear wrong, you know?
Yeah.
Jesus. But so what artists inspire you now?
Um, I would say definitely Stevie.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Stevie. He's a one of our greatest living composers, I think, for sure.
Yeah, he definitely is. Like I listen to As on my runs,
Hey, dun, dun,
and
dun.
it's like it shouldn't work. It really shouldn't work, but it does.
Why not? That's a good song to run to.
See, like you, I don't know, because every time I tell people that like I listen to like art, because like literally my entire run list, I run like maybe 4 or 5 miles.
Oh,
Not
that's good.
every day. I used to run every day, but like I had to cut that out because I was, you know how you just get tired of running sometimes, but I digress. I listen to like R&B, I listen to soul, and I listen to a lot of Stevie Wonder. I think I have As what's the song? Don't You Worry About a Thing,
Oh
and
yeah, that's
then one more. It might have been a Janelle Monáe remix because Janelle Monáe honestly is like, I think she's the closest to, because Prince was her mentor. She's the closest to like
oh,
old
okay.
old school artist as we're gonna get, you know. And I know she did a few tracks with Stevie Wonder. She did a few concerts with him. She might have done more, but I
Okay.
remember one song she did. She specifically did as at the Stevie Wonder tribute concert. At the Stevie Wonder tribute concert with Jill Scott and India Ari, and it was just absolutely amazing, and I loved it. And like
Oh, I saw that video.
that
Oh, it's
it's
amazing.
just, oh, I want
Yeah,
them to do a whole Stevie Wonder track where the three of them just like
that was
go off,
perfect.
because all of their voices together is just ridiculous. Like it gives me goosebumps every single time, because each individually they're like amazing artists and they make
Yep.
amazing songs, and they have all of their own unique styles. It's like I can tell an India Irie song, I can tell a Jill Scott song, I can tell a Janelle Monáe song, but together, if they were forming girl groups, they need to make a girl group or a woman group, excuse me.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna say. But what artists have you played with? Because I know I see you on Facebook every so often. It's like, oh, I had an amazing time with so so and so, and I'm like, I know that's an artist. I just don't know who that is. Like, explain like the process, I guess. because I don't know how to get into music. How you got into music? I don't know like the whole artist scene.
Yeah, I've played with a lot of local artists.
Hmm.
I don't know why they keep calling me, but they keep calling me for some reason. So Nate Wynn, who used to drum for, I think he actually still does drum for Charlie Wilson, Uncle Charlie. Um, I was just at the jazz festival,
Hmm.
and I played with Keon Harold, who is I would say like definitely one of like the premier trumpet players like in jazz today. Um, my good friend Brandon Rose, he just released 2 albums. I'm actually on the second album. Played with
With your
him.
little credit.
Yeah, yeah, you know, I try to, yeah, help local people out. I feel like I know I'm missing Sean Dobbins, who's another great drummer. We did the jazz festival last year. Galen McKinney, who was Aretha Franklin's last drummer. Actually, right before she passed, she was the last
Oh.
drummer that was working with Aretha. So I've been playing with her group McKinney Zone. She just also released a record too, I think, this year. Um, so yeah, those are
And
just
these people are calling you. Damn, respect.
man. I'm like okay, all right, if you think I
I
can do the job,
look, if I were you, I would keep playing on those because I know music is all about collaboration and whatnot.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I guess we'll move on into like the what's now. Like, what artists do you want to play with, or what artists do you have your eye on? I'll put it that way.
Definitely Stanley Clark. So he's a older bassist
Mm-hmm.
that used to play with Chick back in the early '70s. His music is challenging. I think it'll be a great challenge for me to get inside that, but I know I gotta
What kind
do
of
some
music is it? Like
like jazz fusion
jazz? Okay,
and
gotcha.
funk.
Ooh, I love me some funk.
Yeah, man, they it's heavy. It's heavy into that, and I think it's like jazz funk is how it's described. So it's nice. It's fusion. It's really nice.
After this, I'm gonna have you make me a list of like artists just to check out because like some of these people just sound like people I would listen to.
Okay.
But all right,
Oh, and Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. Like this, if I could
Anderson
just be a
.Paak,
fly
yeah.
on the wall, I ain't even got to work with them. But just to be a fly on the wall and hear those sessions, like I'd be like, yes.
Yeah. What's your favorite Anderson .Paak song, by the way?
Ooh,
Yeah.
uh,
Challenged you. Challenged you, motherfucker. I challenged you. I got
oh gosh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna have to do a to put that in the pen. But
it. Wow.
we have to return to that because
What about Bruno Mars?
that's a tough one too, man. I mean, they had some their last
You
album.
mentioned these people.
I know, man, but oh gosh,
You mentioned these people.
I don't
These are
want
the
to do
people you
cop
want
out
to play
answers.
with.
Um,
These are the people you want to play with. You got to know they're your favorite track. You
I
got
know. Well, see, the thing is though, like you have multiple favorites,
to.
and then you have some that are like, I really like this, and I also like this just as much.
Do a top
Because I
three
love the
list. How
whole
about
album.
that? Do a
Huh?
top three list. How about that? And then your favorite album. That'll
Okay.
be easier.
Well, they haven't came out with the album that I want to be my favorite because they're working on the album.
Okay.
Both of them. They had to leave the door open, and they got that new song they just released, Skate.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. I haven't
So,
heard it yet. Probably gonna have to watch some of these like later in the week. To be perfectly honest.
so I guess in terms, okay. So how about this? I'm gonna put them together. Bruno and Anderson, the songs that they've been doing so far, those are at the moment, those are my favorite
At
songs
the
for them.
moment, yeah. All of the songs they've been doing, or like
Well, they've
which
only done
ones?
two so far that I've
Oh, they
seen
were. Oh, I completely misinterpreted. I thought you. I was saying individually which ones are your favorite, but they're working on songs together right now.
together. Yeah, collaboration. Yeah,
Okay, I did not know that.
yeah,
I
man, it's awesome.
damn.
So,
They're both really good. Yeah, they're both really good artists. I like when it comes to Anderson .Paak, my favorite song is what's the song they did for that Apple commercial? I can't remember what it's called. Damn it. I It's the song where FKA Twigs danced. Do you know that song? Let me Google it right now because I'm gonna get it.
Apple commercial. I know I've heard it. Well, I don't watch too much TV, so I might not have heard it, but
Well, it was on
online?
YouTube.
Okay. Well, I probably heard it then.
Till It's Over. That's what it is.
Till it's
You,
over.
yeah,
Oh,
you've heard. You have to have heard of that song.
yeah, I remember that one.
That one was my first and to this day favorite Anderson .Paak song. Bruno
Oh,
Mars, it's been a while since I listened to him, so I don't really know his music like that, like the back of my hand anymore.
mhm.
But honestly, the one he did, the remix with Cardi B, it was pretty hot. I'm not like
It was.
it was corny, but I'm like, it's
I
corny
can see
enough.
that too. I can see that. Yeah,
It's
because
corny enough to where I liked it.
you thought it was corny because like of them trying to go back to that era in a way, like the night.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can feel that. I can
it,
feel it.
it
But it
was
was nice.
very Fresh Prince,
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
and that's what they were going for.
Right.
But all right, we're gonna move on to our final section, like a what now type of deal. What music have you composed, like yourself? You have any songs that you'd like to share? Any YouTube links you'd like to point us to so we can
Oh,
hear your
okay.
own music?
Yeah, I mean these would just be demos. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm on YouTube at ooh, what was my name? I think it's Brent248.
So you
And
need to know this.
yeah, I need to. Yeah, I think it's Brent248. That's my YouTube. I'm on SoundCloud at Brendon Davis 4, and you can find like demos I've done. Like I've done like some beats. You can see like some snippets of like songs or demos on there.
Do you have any
Um,
full songs that you've composed yet, or no?
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I think in terms of currently, I want to say I have about 50 to 60 songs that have been mostly full composed. Um,
Okay.
I want to say there are about 20 of them that maybe that are still like I need to like flesh out and actually notate, but most of them are fully composed.
How many parts do they have to it, or is it just piano?
Oh, it's I've written things for a big band, for string quartet. Actually, I need to finish this piece that I'm writing for a string quartet. That's hopefully going to be on my second album because I just don't have any room to put on my first album. So
Get you,
but
look
yeah.
at you. What projects are you working on? Like outside of obviously your first two albums.
Outside of the albums, oh well, I'm like a session musician. So I just did a recording with Leslie DeShazer. Leslie DeShazer. She's a violist, and she's doing her first album. So we just did a recording session at the Timbermill studio out in Ferndale. I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
8 hour session. It was a long session. We were there
Mm-hmm.
8 hours and we recorded I think 5 or 6 songs. And I do a lot of stuff like that. You know, a lot of times it'll. With I mean, I like I said, I was on my friend Brandon Rose's his album. We recorded some songs there. You know, so whoever calls me, I just do what I can to
They
make.
call and you come. I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
What collabs do you have in store?
Well, so I mentioned the strings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping I can collab with this one string group, 6 Mile Strings. I've been playing with Deshaun Jones and Nomadic. Oh, I can't forget him. He actually just won a Grammy for being one of the arrangers for Kierra Sheard's last album. And so I've been working with him, and he actually wants to produce this album. So I want to bring him in to work on some string stuff with his group. He has a group that he works with called 6 Mile Strings, and they work together.
Oh,
So and he wants to score and work with what I have so far and see where we can go from that. So I'm looking forward to that.
looks like you really got to work on your composing skills there, huh?
Huh?
Looks like you got to look. Sorry. Looks like you got to work on those composing skills so you can live up to the Grammy winner. Because I
I
know,
guess, yeah.
Jesus, I didn't realize that you were so into the music world. I made this one when I'm like, it's been a while since I talked to Brendon. Fuck. Look, it is 11:41 and I woke up at like maybe 9:20. So I'm still just getting up. Sorry.
All good.
Um when I originally wanted to interview you, I was just thinking, oh, well, he's still a student. He looks like he's getting a little play. So might as well check in, use this time to really check in. But like, honestly, where in like, this is like my final question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Even if you don't have like an idea, because I remember when we talked last night, you're like, I don't know, wherever the wind takes me. But like, where do you see yourself?
Yeah, same answer.
Say no, you got to give a better answer than that. You can't just say wherever the wind takes me. Where do you want to be? How about that? That's a better question.
I don't know because like I try to plan out, you know, uh
Mm-hmm.
stuff and
It doesn't
something
work
else just
out.
happens, like so I don't, I because I remember there's one particular moment, I said, you know, I was like, I want to do a classical sax sonata. I said, okay. Next year I'm doing a classical sax sonata. Um I want to do a, piano concerto by the time I'm in my early 20s. Next thing doing, I'm playing with strings. I'm doing recording strings with Deshaun, and so like I don't know.
Definitely an artist, Brendon. You're definitely an
Sometimes
artist.
I don't know. Sometimes I say stuff and it happens, but then sometimes I might say something, but it's like a variation of what I want.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like maybe I do need to say what I want to do.
Yeah, because
So
apparently it just happens in some way,
I
shape, or
guess
form.
I don't know. Well, yeah. So I guess I in 5 years. Okay, in 5 years, how about this? I want to have at least two albums out. Two albums out, like for sure, like fully done, fully produced albums. I think that's doable. Hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
so because I'm I like to I overthink a lot. That's the reason
That's a
why my
mood.
first album isn't out. You know, so definitely just that's a starting point, and I think that's a
Okay.
good.
I think that's a good. See, like if I were you, I'd say something ridiculous. Like I want a Grammy in 5 years. I'd say
Grammy?
something ridiculous like that.
That's
But
not ridiculous.
well, I you probably right because I don't know the music world like that.
Yeah, it's not ridiculous.
But just to get on to like more general conversation, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? Anything else you wanted to bring up? Any questions you had for me? I guess.
Uh, I guess like just be on the lookout for a future single that I'm releasing.
Mhm.
I'm really excited about that. I'm actually supposed to be meeting with my producer later on today, and we're going to discuss like moving forward with that. So, really, really excited about that because, like I said, I recorded it like 5 months ago, 4 months ago, but I've just been so in my head about it. I thought like it was terrible, wasn't good enough. And so like I'm finally getting on the bandwagon and try to release something, and that's going to be what it is. So,
What's the name of it?
ooh, I don't know if I can share the name.
Oh,
Should I share the name or should I just leave it?
okay. We'll leave it as the nameless album for now, since you don't know if you can share it or
Oh, the
not.
album,
Or no, not the album. Sorry, the single.
the single.
Single. We'll
Oh,
leave it as a nameless single for now.
nameless single.
You know, I'll put that in the description. Look out for his nameless single coming
Nameless.
out. Dot 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 stuff like that.
Ah,
But all right, so this has been a shower thoughts with an asexual episode 9. Brendon, we are going to have you on in the future, obviously, because big things are happening with you composing albums, singles, artists, collaborations, all that good stuff that we talked about. And yeah, um see you guys in the next episode.